goes wrong? The gear made my beginner status glaringly obvious. My spork snapped in half. My cornflower blue shirt was too bright and clean to be worn by anyone other than a newbie. I also had more pressing concerns. I could light my stove, but didn't know how to fix it when it broke. Tucked into my lime green down sleeping bag, I was cold every night because I didn't realize the cold was seeping up from the ground through my thin sleeping pad. Worse yet, backpackers I met along the way commented on my poor choices. From the Appenzell in Switzerland to Patagonia in Chile, I got the same questions. Why did you pack so much? Why did you pack that? Our conversations about equipment and clothing sometimes gave me insights into local hiking culture. At other times, however, they were condescending lectures intended to highlight the speaker's supposedly superior knowledge. People questioned my expertise because I was young and a woman, I knew. But I also learned something less obvious in those discussions about gear. What people brought on the trail was inextricably linked to the meaning they assigned to their outdoor experiences. It turned out that my packing list was so very American. Not just the brands I sported, REI, Patagonia, Smartwool, but the ideas behind the gear. How to layer, how to deal with the rain, how to eat on the trail, the bromide that cotton kills. Reading adventure fiction and scouting handbooks in my childhood had shaped my experience as a young adult traveler more than I realized. I believed that there was a right way to dress and equip myself, just as much as the folks I encountered around the world believed in a different right way. Over many months, I grew stronger shouldering my too heavy pack, learned how to fix the stove so I didn't have to eat granola for dinner, and became more confident on the trail. Over many miles, I reflected on why I thought acquiring the right gear would turn me into the person I wanted to be. Where did my packing list come from? As it turned out, these questions would shape my academic research for the next decade. The year after my great adventure, I began graduate school in Madison, Wisconsin, happy to begin writing about mountains rather than climbing them. Still, I hiked and dabbled in other outdoor sports. I didn't become the wilderness guide or park ranger that I'd imagined becoming as a teenager. Instead, I became a specialist in the meanings Americans attach to their experiences in nature. I am now a historian of outdoor gear, and the first person to claim such a job description. I'm an expert in unpacking the packing list, studying what Americans bring to nature, and why that list of seemingly mundane goods matters. When I combined what I learned in school, the cultural evolution of ideas of manhood, the search for authentic experience as a response to modernity, with my time on the trail, I finally began to answer the questions that followed me earlier. There are no right things to buy for the trail, since notions of what is right, or even what is comfortable, are specific to place and time. And stuff does not inherently define character. Only my education in adventure fiction and scouting magazines and comparisons of my tent with my neighbors had taught me that misperception. Although my specific path to the woods might have been unusual, my quest to prove myself as an expert hiker, via shopping, turns out to have been a quintessential American experience. For more than 150 years, outdoor equipment and clothing has been a treasured and necessary component of the American outdoor experience. Indeed, many would-be outdoor enthusiasts in the 1920s spent more time shopping for a fringed buckskin jacket or an imitation buckskein jacket than they did wearing it on the trail. Why Americans go shopping on the way to the woods, and what the things they buy say about who they are, became the central focus of my research, as it had already been in my personal life. For this history of the outdoor industry, I looked at a wide variety of archives and publications. I consulted historical documents, such as ducksback hunting apparel catalogs from the 1920s, guidebooks like Mountaineering, The Freedom of the Hills from 1960, and DuPont advertisements from 1980.